Hey guys, Coach Dave.
Dr. Eddie.
We're here with another episode of WOD Science. So today we're addressing more common issues with the squat, specifically the knee, right Dr. Ed?
Yeah, so last week we kind of addressed on starting with our air squat and working all the way to the famous overhead squat.
That's right.
We addressed some ankle mobility issues, and this week we're going to actually touch on some knee stability issues that we see.
Yeah, so generally what we see, we call it the Valgus knee, right?
Yep.
That's where the knee kind of collapses inwards in the squat, which can be terrible if you have load on your back. So we'll demo that so you can see it, and then we'll give you some things to correct it. One.
Okay guys, just to touch base on that Valgus knee deformity that we were talking about that we see, this isn't really commonly seen in the air squat, but we're going to address it in the air squat anyways. You usually see it under load, back squat, front squat, when you're catching in a clean, down in the squat positions, when you're going to see it the most. But what it is basically is when we go down in the squat, when we're coming down, you'll see the knees kind of cave in like this when people are going down, and that's really bad when you're under load. You know, you're at risk, it could collapse in, you could fall with the weight. It's just not a good position to be in at all. So we're going to go through some stability tools that we like to use to help improve that and prevent that from occurring. Okay guys, the movement that I like to use to kind of help with the Valgus squat deformity that we see are banded squats. The reason that we do this is because this occurs, the caving into the knees usually occurs because the lateral glutes aren't turning on and activating. So like the glute med isn't turning on when we're going down for our squats. What I like to do is I like to take a band and I'll put it above my knees, just above my knees. And the thing with this is that when we're going to squat down, we're driving our knees out against the band to kind of help activate those lateral glutes. This isn't going to correct it in one day. You know, it might take a month, but over time, it's going to help us develop and turn those glutes on so that when we're squatting down, that we don't see any caving in.
All right, guys. So Eddie just talked to you guys about the banded squats. Another thing that we do, and you'll generally see these movements in warm-ups. The reason why we're addressing them today is because sometimes in the warm-ups we do see people do them wrong. So we want to make sure that you guys are actually doing these correctly to correct the issues down the road. Okay, so making sure that when you're doing those squats, like Dr. Eddie said, you're squatting down. When you're squatting under load, pretend like you have a band on, always driving out, even in the bottom when you're coming out of that squat, it's important too. So it's knees out on the way down and also knees out on the way up. So for the next one, band, we're going to do two of my favorite. So we're going to do those banded side steps. So we're going to put the band over the top of your foot and over the bottom. Generally, the fault that I see in this movement is people just kind of staying tall and they either drag their feet and they're just walking like this. It really doesn't activate those glutes. We want to get those firing, so we're going to kind of squat down into a partial squat. Chest should stay tall. And then we're going to take the tension in the band, step out, and as I step in with this foot, I'm still keeping tension. So one thing we usually see is this. I lost all the tension in that, and that's kind of turning these off. So as I squat down, I create that tension, and I kind of pick up and move each foot with it, and they're just short, choppy steps, but I'm feeling that burn already out here, okay? So the next one now is going to go right into those monster walks. Pick those up and go right above the ankles now. And as we go, I want to make sure that the band, as I step, doesn't pull my ankles in. If that's happening, I'm not creating any tension, I'm not turning on those glutes. So we want to keep that tension separate. Legs will stay straight. And you're thinking about kind of pulling those bands along as we step. And you start to feel that burn out here in that glute med that Dr. Eddie was talking about. All right, guys, that concludes another awesome episode of WOD Science with Coach Dave.
Dr. Eddie.
If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about any future episode ideas, make sure you comment below. We will make sure we address those in any future episodes.
With that being said, guys, remember one thing: optimize your body,
Optimize your potential,
and optimize your life.
Can you deal with that?